All right, it is 12:02 and the Edmonton Oilers lead 3-2. Holy smokes.
Crazy.
What is happening around here? Sorry, we're about a minute or two late. I was talking with Reed Wilkins about his eye story. You guys must have talked to him.
He told me about it.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I get a win, yeah? People are loving that now, man.
That's crazy, too.
People are loving it. It's crazy. It's pretty nuts. Travis Farquharson says that game was so much less stressful to watch last night. Yeah, I think you're probably right, but I still feel like it was kind of stressful. Like as good as they were playing, you're like, damn, man, like start burying something.
I think that underlying feeling that something bad was going to happen because the Oilers couldn't take advantage lingered.
Yeah.
Lingered. And then went away, dissipated very quickly when Edmonton got the go-ahead goal.
Oil stay was fun last night. Great time last night.
Awesome time last night.
We were at Hudson's on White last night, and it was a lot of fun. I didn't even have anything to eat the whole night. I was thinking about getting some wings. I had mac and cheese before I came, and then I was like,
I said, get something.
Yeah, you're good with my $20. People were saying today I maybe left too much.
I mean, you didn't have to leave 20.
I know, but I only had 20 because the machine only gives out 20s.
You break it up. The girls.
Will they break it up for me?
Yeah, they'll break it up for you.
Oh, but then I feel cheap if I'm like, hey, can you just give me 10 back?
No, why?
I know. I guess that's how tips work. But
yeah.
Anyway,
Get over the stigma.
I only had a couple drinks.
Yeah.
So it was a fun time.
It was a good time.
It was a fun time there last night. And yeah, looking forward to this series moving forward. Maybe only for one more game. You'll be at the Ice House on Thursday. And if it does go game 7, the boys at BP's would have the first crack at game 7,
yes.
Tony and Curtis. And
Tony was in the inbox last night.
Do you think this goes 7?
No, I don't.
I don't think so either.
It's over.
Hernan, what'd you say last night on the postgame show? Gager, what's up, buddy? What'd you say last night right away?
They're done.
Did you say cooked? You said cooked. You've slept on it, Nan. So any changes? Any thought process?
It's over on Thursday, man. And then we get a nice break. We wait for Vegas or the Wild.
Because that's going 7.
That's going
Go
7
baby.
probably. And then we
happen.
get ready for round 2. Just watch the Kings. Go back to the game. Watch them skate off the ice. They know they're
I haven't done that yet because after the game, I popped over to the old nasty section there, high-fived everybody. You had that video going, so can I get a win? I was like, win, yeah. It was great. And then we popped back over and went on postgame right away. So I still haven't really seen the last 5 seconds or whatever.
Hernan was describing it, saying that Kopitar was slamming his stick into the stick
really
rack.
Slam it. He kind of just threw it into the... But like they've just looked defeated.
Yeah.
They know it's over.
Well, and they should feel defeated. Look what's happened to them.
Yes.
They've played really good. Their goalie was outstanding last night, and they still can't win, guys.
Yeah.
Edmonton's
done.
better.
Yeah, if you haven't found a way to have a 3-2 series lead on the Oilers, by now you're not winning this series.
It's the only way they come back, the Oilers completely crapped it.
Well, I said this morning on the show, I said, the one thing I'm worried about in game 6, and I do think the Oilers are going to win in game 6, and I will say this, my official prediction will be the Oilers win by like 3 or 4 in game 6.
Just take it away running.
But the one thing I worry about a little bit, Tommy, and I don't know where you come out on this one, the Oilers going into game 6 will have a series lead. Their backs won't be against the wall. And I just wonder if, you know how they're always like, everybody's doubting us and it's time. And
they rise up.
This is a situation where it's like, hey, things are kind of comfortable right now. I hope they look past that and go out and dominate again. But that would be my hesitancy. Like, because somebody said, well, Dusty, what if they get goalied in game 6? I said, they got goalied last night. They got goalied last night and got through it.
Yeah.
Kemper was as goalying as a goalie could be.
He goalied.
And they still, they beat the goalie who was goalying them. So for me, like, they're not going to get goalied in game 6 because they'll find a way. The only thing that can hurt them in game 6, I think, is them not having that, our backs are against the wall and we're not going to give her like we saw last night.
Yeah, I think this freight train's running right through LA tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I understand that concern. I respect it. And I think it's natural for some people to have that instinct. I just think, these past 3 games, like, it was the 1-2 combo, and then last night was the blow, and now it's basically, I'm going to mix boxing with Mortal Kombat. Now it's finish him.
Yes.
And
finish him.
where you're done and you just go in for the, back, AB, whatever, uppercut, and then it sends the head into the pit.
That's how it works.
Something like that.
Were you more of a Mortal Kombat guy as opposed to, what was the other one?
Street Fighter. I was Street Fighter, but I got into Mortal Kombat.
I was Mortal Kombat.
They're both great for their own reasons. Street Fighter got me. I got Street Fighter 2, Super Nintendo. There's a couple different versions.
Street Fighter was the same thing, though, like head to head.
Same idea.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Hernan, you were a Mortal Kombat kid?
Oh, Street Fighter.
You were a Street Fighter too?
I was playing last night during the intermission. I was learning the moves again. I Googled them, and then I was practicing them.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Are we having a Street Fighter tournament? Is that what's happening?
I used to use Blanca, and he would do the electric shock thing. And then there was
I only played the other one.
E Honda would do the chopping hand.
Yeah.
On Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like using Ryu or Ken.
Classic.
And since
Ryu, I guess I did play a lot of Street Fighter too.
since the Tecmo League is never going to start,
The Tecmo League is going to start.
I'm going to start a Street Fighter League.
No,
I'll
Tecmo
play
League's
that.
going to start.
I'll opt in or whatever.
There's
the
a
hell
Mortal
you guys
Kombat.
call
There's
it.
a Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat tournament. I think we could do.
Yeah,
just
I'll play
like
that.
In Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Hey, that
exactly.
would be fun.
Hey, that's not a bad.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like that's a summer thing for sure.
By the
That would
way,
be a good idea. So wait, well,
so
anyway.
Scott from Pepsi showed up.
Okay, but who knows Scott from Pepsi?
I don't know, but thank you, Scott, for coming by.
Sure.
And these are
So he didn't text you to say he was coming by?
no.
How did he find the office? Like, what's the deal here?
I don't know, but I'm glad he
Are we
did.
sure
This is kind of neat.
Scott from Pepsi and not some
yeah,
imposter?
Yeah, he knew Belzy. He played hockey against Belzy too.
Okay, well then did Belzy invite him in?
Oh,
What? This guy
they
just showed up with a bunch of
introduced
orange
each other
Pepsi?
to themselves.
Oh wow!
And yeah, so Scott from Pepsi brought a case of the orange Pepsi, the Grant Fuhr one, and this one's all the rage. Like, and here's your taste test. Zach comes going around doing a TikTok video for us. What do you think? I like it. It's fine. It's Pepsi with a little twist to it.
Yeah, I mean it's like a lighter version of Pepsi that tastes a little orange,
Yeah.
right? Like it's it's good.
But
it's good.
But Scott was saying people were selling these for like 200 and something bucks.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just gouging. Who's selling for $200?
Like
the
on
Oilers?
Kijiji and no, they're not. Kijiji and I don't know, Facebook Market. I don't know.
It's like a collector's item.
Is
so we
that
got
what it is?
Do we got that spice rum kicking around over there?
Oh, he's gonna mix it with a little
I might
spice.
splash it in here to try this this orange Pepsi
But
with some spice
yeah,
rum.
thank you to Scott for bringing this by. Really appreciate that. Very nice of him. Felt bad. We should have given him an EST like scarf or something.
Rob from the Grove says, Zacticum, what are you doing?
Oh, he's doing his taste test video.
okay.
All right, go
Okay.
quickly. Let's go. This is what Zach does.
Orange Pepsi.
Orange Pepsi, special edition Oilers Grant Fuhr.
That's good. Yeah, that's nice. Now give me some of that spice rum. Let's, just mix that in there. Just
let's make it really interesting. Just finish that.
Just put the rest of it in.
Yeah,
That's
look
okay.
at that. Daddy
There you go.
likes.
That's nice. That's a nice little.
How is it now?
Well, we're about to find out.
Yeah.
Did Grant Fuhr do this?
Not
Has
yet.
anybody done this? This is orange Pepsi with captains.
And
There's quite a bit of captains in there. That's a pretty strong
it's
drink.
sitting on top of the ice right now.
Yeah, I got to mix that around. It's
Yeah.
pretty strong.
Yeah.
But it's delicious.
Very good. There you go, Zach.
Yeah, I like it. Now get the hell out of here, Zach.
Yep.
All right, the oil stream is brought to you by Boston Pizza. What is this? Somebody said in the chat.
What'd they say?
Rob from the Grove said, Pepsi is close to your studio. It's the Play Alberta bump. This is the thing. Like you sign with one of the big fish in the province, and all of a sudden Pepsi's coming to your front door, dropping stuff off.
That's awesome. Thank
Unbelievable.
You. Well, and you know what? We had BP, Jason, and the crew last week, and Lisa. We had Jarrell from Fox hook us up for game one. Was it Tina from A&W?
Teen Burger Tina.
Teen Burger Tina. That was great. That was a pleasant surprise. That was a nice breakfast.
You came, this guy, the buffet bandit, you came out of that hangout and like straight to the burgers. You open up, you're like, oh, can I have a burger?
I was starving.
We were all like, oh, Tommy.
I was starving.
Now there's enough burgers to go around.
Oh, there was
You
a
could
lot.
have
I wouldn't dabble if there was not enough. It's been a very good couple of weeks, and thankfully the hockey team is providing good vibes and opportunities like this with Scott from Pepsi.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Very cool packaging and stuff.
And then yeah, the Play Alberta thing is fantastic. Everybody's wearing their hoodies. I was directed by Trevor today.
Yeah, he wants you in that because you got to shoot some stuff for something we're working on. Did you get some stuff, Sean?
I think so.
I'll be in this Play Alberta hoodie tomorrow as well, as our deal officially launches tomorrow with Play Alberta. And
I love that hoodie. It's actually very comfortable.
Nice hoodie.
Matthew was raving about it, but he's right. Like, it's not a thick hoodie. It's one you can wear like in the mornings.
Yeah, and like right
evenings.
now I'm not like super sweaty because I'm wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, it's good.
So it's
Belzy was very excited about his.
All right, 780-218-9999, 218-9999. As always, the oil stream presented to you by our wonderful partners at Boston Pizza, where they have that new playoff menu that has been launched. We're talking about like this maple bacon poutine, which is amazing.
So good.
They've got the wing flight that does feature the atomic wings. If you want to get down on some of those, they've got the double play nachos, which are nachos and cactus cuts in like a nacho bowl
with chipotle drizzle.
The chipotle drizzle makes everything.
Yeah, and then you get your salsa and your sour cream, and I think guac too.
You got the wingman pizza. Triple pepperoni pizza.
Triple pep was great.
What else am I missing on this playoff menu? I think I might have all of it.
I think that's it.
It is
triple
if you've
pep,
not been there
wingman, poutine,
playoff menu is terrific.
Nachos. There might be some drink specials I don't remember off the top of my head, but it is really good.
See your the triple pep pizza, Scoville Showdown pizza flights. Yeah, the little pizza flights.
Oh, the wings
and the wing flight. Yeah,
the wings. Yeah,
double trouble nachos. Yeah,
yeah.
And the Canadian All-Star poutine, which
it lives up to the name.
It's a shareable meal for buddies.
Ouch. I made good on that.
Jennifer the chat says those nachos are delicious. That whole playoff menu is just, they said, hey, let's put out 6 bangers, and damn it,
boom,
they're batting 1,000, which is pretty impressive. Okay, I don't know if I've talked about, I've obviously talked about this game a lot since last night. First let's just get to some text. You can text us 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube today, sub to the channel. We've blown past 11.8. We are working our way towards 11.9. K on the subs. 12. We could be at 12,000 by the end of the week.
I hope so.
Which would be awesome. Blue guy vacuuming right now.
Yeah, he's vacuuming.
He can't do chores during shows. No, let him vacuum. I don't think it's that bad. Can anybody hear him vacuuming right now?
No,
hey, let us know.
Doors.
I don't think so. Close the door, Zach.
To the studio.
Now I forgot where I was.
Okay, we're talking about text. We get to text.
Okay, well then I'll get to this one. It comes in from Big Dave. Says, I'm with Hernan, and I think the Kings are cooked. Oilers probably had the momentum and psychological advantage. Outside of Fogle, the Kings look disinterested and like they have no answers. I also figured whoever took Game 5 would probably take the series, most likely in 6. If the Oil make the second round, I'll work on my Spanish and come in and sing La Bamba with Hernan. Go Oil.
Nice. Good text, Big Dave. The one part of Big Dave's excellent text that I agree with is the no answers part.
Yeah.
It kind of... Now, circumstances obviously different, but remember when Edmonton lost to Colorado in the conference finals 2022, and they tried different things, they switched it up, and they moved some things around. Edmonton had no answers to Colorado, and they would try things, and Colorado would just be like, no, that's not going to work. We're going to beat you at this, beat you at that. Feels like Edmonton, after Game 2, has done that to LA in this series in the last 3 games. Now, LA did play really good in Game 4. Even though they were out shooting the Oilers significantly in that game, I know Reed has talked about it, and a lot of people thought they were outplaying the Oilers in the first 2 periods of Game 4. But I don't disagree with that. I just thought that the Oilers hanging around were still in an okay place. And then they kind of woke up in the 3rd period, obviously took over that overtime. And then yesterday just continued what they had done in OT, were able to sustain it for the majority of 60 minutes, which I thought was great. That was their best performance. And you heard Jim Hiller, instead of yelling at DB last night, he was being very sincere and genuine.
He was very honest about where they're at right now, yeah.
He's like, they were better than us in every facet last night. So that's why I kind of have a little bit of, and hints of that 2022 conference final where the Oilers were kind of in it. They were in it, but they just couldn't get over the hump against the Avs. The Kings in this series, they got the jump on Edmonton in the first 2 games. Had leads. Edmonton had only led for 29 minutes going into last night in this entire series. But Edmonton now it feels like it's clicked for the Oilers. They've figured out the Kings. They have everything solved whenever the Kings try to throw something different at them.
What about just the Kings being gassed?
I think that's legitimate too. Like we pointed out the 13 skaters that they were using yesterday. They're up to 14 because they used Brant Clark more. I think I think Spence played 8, if I'm remembering. I have the game sheet right here. I should just look at it just to verify. But they put Spence back in, and he ends up playing 8-17. So, okay, you could bump them up to, they played 14 and a half players, basically. Third line, 5 minutes. 5 and 4 minutes. Hellenius, 4:05. Turcotte, who was back in the lineup, 5:08. And then Malott, 5:18. So they were, I would call it 14 and a half skaters they used yesterday instead of 13 compared to the other 2 games. And yeah, I think there is some legitimacy to them being tired, worn out. Edmonton's been more physical. They've maintained that. That's good. I think Hyman finished with a game high for the Oilers, at least. They dished out a lot of hits.
Yeah, they did.
The official scores. I think they had the hits at 59-46 in favor of LA, which I know it was a physical game, but not to that extent. Anyway, Hyman, 10 hits officially on the game sheet. 6 shots. He was a buzzsaw out there. Couldn't score, but he's around it, and I think it was Jasmine saying she thinks that he's gonna score right away here, and he might. He's due. He's working hard, doing the right things. But I think the Oilers are wearing down the Kings. You're seeing them finishing checks, especially the defensemen. Got an older guy like Drew Doughty back there. Joel Edmondson's no spring chicken.
Yeah.
So it's been effective the last few games, and here we are.
This text is in from somebody, no handle, but thank you very much for texting in. Doesn't playing Kempe on D both reek of desperation and send a negative message to the other D that a forward is a better option than us? I love it. That's what
the desperation, I would agree 100% with. In my opinion, I think they're at the point where they're, again, trying anything. So if you're a defenseman and you're putting Kempe out there, I think you're like, well, we need a goal. He's probably our best goal scorer. Yeah, put him out there. He's fast. He can recover from mistakes. I think that's probably the rationale. So I agree with the desperation, the offending the other guys. Like at this point, these guys are pros in the playoffs. If you don't like it, too bad. A good point.
Travis over there says, yeah, it was funny to see the Kings start to deploy Kempe as a D-man as well. Kempe getting stoned by Pickard.
Yeah.
And a big moment in that hockey game.
Yeah.
Like Pickard wasn't crazy busy, but that was a pretty significant deal.
It's those timely saves. You need them. And they got them.
A few other areas I want to go. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Chris Runover in the chat says, Kings are grasping at paper straws, and it's raining right now, which I like. We are 28 likes away from changing 100 here on the Oil Stream today. Should be easy peasy. And hey, please tell your friends if you're listening with us during our playoff coverage here on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Just tell them how easy it is to consume our content on TuneIn, iHeart, on our website.
Yep.
Live on YouTube. All that's live. And then, of course, if they're busy and they can't do it after the fact, everything will be available as a podcast as well. Tommy, last night there would have, I don't even know how many, I don't know what the number would be, but what would you say was the wildest moment in last night's hockey game?
Ooh, wildest moment.
Like there were a few that brought the crowd at Hudson's like out of their chairs. You're just like, I can't believe they didn't bury that, or I can't believe they didn't call that. Or, oh my God, look at that save.
Okay, the one like to me that is the most egregious. There were some nice saves. Like, don't get me wrong. There was, I think early in the game, Bouchard getting robbed on the 2-on-1 with McDavid. That was huge. And then you saw Kemper like get that crap out of here.
Yeah.
He throws it like with the little sass. I appreciate that. To me, one of the wildest moments was the no penalty shot call when Byfield clearly covered the puck in the crease with his hands. Clearly. And guess what? The ref was right there. Reed in his Reed's read yesterday. I want to actually fire this out there because although Reed had surgery on his eye yesterday.
And he is here today.
He's here. He's back today.
Looks a bit like the guy from the Goonies.
Hey, you guys. You're going to live with me now.
Hey, Reed, you're going to live with me now because I love you.
Oh, I love you too, John.
I love your trunk.
This is what Reed said in his Reed's read. He put out bullet points. Point number 5, complete choke job, by Kendrick Nicholson to not award the Oilers a penalty shot when Byfield covered the puck in the crease. That's what infuriates fans. Just call the obvious infractions. Nicholson was in perfect position to see what Byfield did, so he either doesn't know he should be watching the puck or chose not to make an obvious call. So he's incompetent. And I agree with that statement by Reed.
I mean, both things are right on the level of incompetence.
Yes.
I think when he was coming across, Byfield had already got on top of the puck.
He was
and I know, but I don't think he knew that puck was under Byfield. And that's why he didn't call it. Like he couldn't have. If he would have seen, because he was coming in, and then I think by the time he sort of got up on top of the net, Byfield already had the puck. And I don't think he saw where it was. And then we watched on the replay, right? It squirts out kind of to the right. So I mean, I don't give benefit of the doubt to officials. I can't stand most of these guys.
Same.
But I'm trying to think of why he wouldn't have called it. And it's either, he saw it he didn't have the balls to make the right call because it's a close playoff game and you don't want to be that guy, even though it's your only job on the ice to call a fair game.
Yeah.
Or he didn't see Byfield initially cover it and didn't know where the puck was, which also means, you're not necessarily doing your job.
Exactly. Surveyor Brett.
Should that be reviewable?
I would hope that. I was wondering, I'm like, have they not fixed that and changed that rule?
Like that would be a play where...
And the Oilers didn't blow up about it either.
No, but I mean, I don't know how many things we want to review in the game, but something of significance like that was so clearly a penalty shot, that thing should be reviewable. Or it should be something where the officials, like if the others are like, hey, he covered it, the officials should be able to come together and then go take a look at it and be like, yeah, you know what, it was.
It was pretty egregious. Surveyor Brett, member of the officiating faculty, the Zebra Guild, I like that, says Reed's retina popped out of his head and can still see better than NHL refs. Am I right? Hey-o.
And that's a guy who is a ref.
And tries to be as diligent in defending them, but will also critique them as a ref.
Scott Thompson says, I stand with Reed's statement and agree that the referees are either completely incompetent or working from a gross officiating directive.
Incompetent.
But I also think it's a game management thing where they're like, oh man, I don't want to step in this spot. But it was, it's a penalty shot.
It was pretty damn obvious.
That's what concerns me, but that's kind of what I buy into because that's how they operate. Like Evander Kane getting cross-checked from behind into the net.
That was pretty obvious.
That's a penalty.
Yes.
Like you can't, you know why they didn't call it? Because of the time in the game.
Yep.
And that is it's horrendous bullshit from the National Hockey League. And it's the same way all the time. And I don't have a lot of time for hockey guy who's like, well, you can't call that at this stage of the game. Yes, you can. It's a blatant penalty.
Yeah.
Call the bloody penalty. And it's the same thing of after the Oilers went up, everybody in the world knows that the Kings are getting a power play before that game's over.
Yes,
everybody in the world. And that is unacceptable as well. Like it's laughable. If other leagues had officiating this, and this is the worst. I mean, I watch CFL. I call CFL playoff football, watch NFL religiously, watch more NBA than most people would be willing to admit.
That's fair.
There is no level of officiating that changes as much or as incompetent come playoff time than the bloody National Hockey League.
Sad but true.
And it's
frustrating. It's very frustrating. Justin of Belgone says it's 100% game management. They were scared to make that call in that situation in LA.
You're not there to manage the game. You are there to call the game by the bloody rule book.
And you're not supposed to be afraid of the fans and being in LA. Like, that's ridiculous. But you know what? I think Justin of Balgone is onto something. I just wanted to say Balgone.
Justin of Balgone.
Balgone.
Golf guy Steve texts in. He says, hey guys, I just left the Leduc Golf and Country Club after getting a hole-in-one on my first round of the year. Of course that comes in from a guy whose handle is Golf Guy Steve.
I applaud
Wow.
The ace. That's awesome. That's a great way to start the golf season. Well done, golf guy Steve.
Golf guy Steve.
Bravo, sir. Did you have to
Impressive.
buy a round for everybody? And did you? And it's early too, but there are like the men's league guys and the regulars that are out there rain or shine. So there's always a few of them. I'm sure there was some out there for lunch, maybe a late breakfast, a petit déjeuner, as we like to say.
That would be a small breakfast.
That's correct.
You said late breakfast.
Well, I just threw petit déjeuner as a Trebek reference.
But I know, yeah, you're right. But,
Thanks.
yeah, ape tit.
Ape tit.
Oh, God, those Jeopardy things. They're so good. Deaky Sparks says, guys, was there a view that showed him closing his hand on it?
Yeah.
Or did he just scoop it?
No.
I'd say probably just too big a call for this guy to
it.
make. As they say, he's not that guy, pal. That's what he says.
He definitely pawed it. And I think he had two hands on it. And it's you don't even have to close your hand. It's just as soon as you put your hand on it in the crease, that's a big time niche penalty shot.
Big Rig Butcher texts in. Listen to the LA post-game show. I didn't even know they had one.
They do have one.
They do have one.
Yeah.
On radio?
ESPN radio, yeah.
Just on nights when the Lakers aren't playing?
Probably.
Yeah. That's probably the truth, actually.
Sadly.
The overall consensus out there is that Hiller screwed this team on the Game 3 challenge.
Sure.
Confidence has turned to hope now down there. Oilers need to push hard and put this thing away in 6.
Good text.
Go Oil.
Yep. Sums it up. I mean, Hiller, compared to post-game Game 4 with his interaction with Dennis, last night he was just very open. And a matter of fact, it seemed like I was listening.
Can I add another word in there?
Yeah, of course.
Defeated.
Oh,
I thought he kind of for a guy that usually has some fire in his belly.
Yeah.
Like after stuff, he kind of seemed like a guy who was defeated and at a loss of words.
Yeah.
I watched his whole thing this morning, and he really just kept coming back around to we got to go there and get one. We got to go there and get one. We got it was just I don't know. He seemed defeated to me.
It's on him to put together a strategy with his assistant coaches that can at least give them a chance and get some buy-in and try to turn hope into determination. That's what good coaches do. But I understand, they have been stymied, and even though they've been leading in games, they're still losing. And they're in a pickle, and a pickle that they dilled themselves.
Oh my God. The Kings are in a pickle that they dilled themselves.
Yes.
I mean, I guess that's one way you could look at it.
Sure.
That's probably one way that you can get there.
Yeah.
Is that a popular saying, or did you just come up with that?
I don't know. I'm just making crap
They are
up.
in a pickle that they dilled themselves.
Yes.
I don't hate it. I mean, it could be a saying.
Sure.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Whatever.
All right, let's get into your Popeye spicy headlines. Shout out to Tommy Gazzola.
Scott.
Tommy Gazzola's Mattias Janmark.
Oh, yes. I thought you were going to do the Pepsi shout out to Scott.
No. I mean, definitely a shout out to Scott from Pepsi. I still want to know how he found us. He must listen.
I hope.
Why does Pepsi not sponsor something on the station?
Hey.
Did we get a card from Scott?
No, shoot. We should have.
Scott
if you're listening, come by again. Stop by.
Yeah, or email.
We'll give you some swag and sweet talk you.
Yeah. Yeah, we want Pepsi swag, man. I'd wear a Pepsi hoodie. I'm a huge hoodie whore.
I'm a Pepsi over
I'll
Coca-Cola guy.
wear hoodies of anything. So we definitely take a Pepsi hoodie.
Yep.
I think that'd be nice.
That's nice.
The spicy headlines brought to you by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen, where I did say because of this surgery, Reed should get free Popeyes for a month.
He could be their mascot.
Yes. But he's here grinding it out today. He's gonna have a good show, man.
Have you seen him eat Popeyes, by the way? He savors it.
Oh, does he?
Oh, yeah.
Like a bite and then waits for a while.
It's
and
too
big breast.
Yeah. But he's two hands and just bite and he savors it and he enjoys it. And you have switched him on to Popeyes. And I think it has slightly changed his life for the better.
100% it has.
Yeah.
I just hope it hasn't affected what happened with his retina.
No. He said that's been something that's kind of built up over the last little while.
But no, Reed eats Popeyes like somebody's always filming him for a commercial.
Yep.
Every single bite.
He likes it. He really likes it.
There's Reed in the chat right now says Popeyes is very good. This guy's a Popeyes feed. He's a Popeyes feed. Pickled so much they're soaking in their own brine.
Yeah, that's even better.
Jason and Leduc.
That's even better than mine.
What else? Trying to think of other types of
pickles.
What
did I say? They're in a pickle that they dilled themselves.
That they dilled themselves.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. If you have any other great pickle puns, send them over. 780-218-9999. If you're watching on YouTube today, we're 7 away from blowing through 100.
Wow.
Yeah, I take a good run at 150 at least today. So yeah, let's do that. Penner's Pancake says the Popeyes blackened chicken is legit delicious. Yeah, that is my favorite of the sandwiches at Popeyes. Penner's Pancakes. I would agree with you on that one. So because of Evander Kane and John Klingberg, Tommy, are they going to win the cup?
Oh, Jesus. That's a bit of a stretch there. But
is it?
Yeah. I mean, I would say that those two have been very, very instrumental in this turnaround. I'm pleasantly surprised watching John Klingberg. Now, Kempe blew by him on that one opportunity, the big save.
Yeah, but Kemper's a stud. I mean,
Kempe is a stud, yeah.
Kempe, sorry.
But for the most part, like Klingberg, I'm assuming he feels comfortable. He's happy about his mobility, and he's talked about how his hips feel the best ever or whatever in so long. Good, because it seems like he is working with what he's got. What his body is able to give him, he is maximizing. And on top of that, it looks like his hockey IQ is pretty sharp right now. He looks composed when he has the puck. Doesn't look like he has the jitters, and he's making the right plays, and that needs to continue. That's good. That is a very refreshing thing to see, because I didn't have any hope for him. I thought, okay, well, I guess throw him in there or whatever. How much worse could it get? I mean, you played Josh Brown in game 1 for crying out loud. And Klingberg has been a very, very big positive for this group, especially on the back end, because, we look at the Oilers defense and we go, they're spotty. And you had Wyshynski on this morning, and he goes, Edmonton's defense questionable. And I think that's still a fair statement, and especially without Ekholm. And I know Coach Mike texted in and said, I know it's wishful thinking, but will we see Ekholm in this postseason? To me, the answer is no.
Highly, highly unlikely.
Yeah, if we do, from my understanding, it'd be a minor miracle.
And it would have to be the cup final.
I don't expect to see him at all till September on the ice.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I hope I'm wrong.
We're saying don't get your hopes up that he's coming back in on a white horse to save the day.
But I feel like Coach Mike and others have had that question in their head, like, could we see him? Because all they said is they're ruling him out for the first round. If he somehow, if we see him at all in this postseason, I'd be like, geez, like, first of all, he's going to get hurt again. That's what I would be worried about. And secondly, like, where's he actually at health-wise? Because they gave him a lot of time off, and it took all of 5 minutes for him to be toast. So, and by all accounts, from what I've heard, it's not good. So, I don't want to poo-poo anything and make people feel bad about the Oilers' defense, but on the bright side, John Klingberg's been great, and Evander Kane's been excellent too.
Well, they're 3-1 when those two guys are in the lineup.
Yeah,
if they weren't around in game 1. When I sort of looked at the Oilers playoffs, I really didn't factor either of these guys in a significant fashion. And
I was hopeful for Kane.
Yeah, but we really didn't know.
True.
Right? It was like, yeah, you hope he can do it, but hasn't played in 10 months.
To his credit, that swagger and I'm good coming off the couch comment that he made back in January, and I think he reiterated it right before the playoffs. You're just like, yeah, like you're full of confidence and you're cocky. Back it up when you get out there. And he has. And that's great. And that's a testament to him. It's a boon for the Oilers. The fans getting behind, and that's awesome. They need that. His physical presence has helped tremendously. I'll throw in Trent Frederick moving around better. That is a positive surprise. All of this, there's been some good things. Remember, it was so gloomy and doomy going in, and we didn't really know the health of these guys. And now it's like, okay, we have an idea. And the more they progress through the playoffs, the better they're getting, the better they look. Knock on wood, they stay healthy. And that's been a very, very pleasant surprise. At least I think so.
This was a Bernstein tweet from last night.
Oh, yes.
That Coach Mike has brought up and says, we'll talk to you from Edmonton, but a final thought. If the Los Angeles Kings cannot win 6 and 7, this season playoff loss has to be the least acceptable. With a better team on paper, on the verge of losing to a team that, despite the presence of 97-29, has a pedestrian defense and a journeyman goaltender.
He's not wrong.
Okay, but then what's the Kings' defense? They're pedestrian. I mean, if the Oilers' defense...
Yeah.
I mean, but no, if the Oilers' defense is pedestrian, the Kings' defense is something below that. The Oilers' blue line, Wallman leads the league in plus minus at 8.
Which is crazy.
Bouchard has 7 points in 5 games and leads the series in goals.
He's on Bobby Orr levels of offensive production.
Klingberg has been like, I don't know. I think describing the Oilers, I mean, how much better were the Kings on paper coming into this? What did we do?
We gave them the check mark on defense and we gave them the check mark in goal. And I think I debated the defense thing a little bit with you. I gave Oilers forwards the check.
Yeah.
The check
So,
mark.
I mean, how much better on paper were they? It was really coming down to Kemper. Like,
it was
coming
Kemper,
into
and
this
we're
thing.
talking about like Fogle being a difference maker for them. And
yeah, I mean,
And it's
Fogel's
like-
effort's been there the whole time. But I don't
this is the same team.
I don't know if like the Oilers were like this big underdog on paper. It would be a disappointing loss for the Kings, but I mean, if they can take any solace in it, if McDavid and Draisaitl would have been healthy for the last 3 weeks, the Kings would have been the road team in this series and viewed as an underdog anyway. So, I mean, the Kings are not a crazy contender that is going to miss out on a Stanley Cup run because they're choked away a lead here against the Oilers, I don't think. You're running 9 forwards and 4D. How can a team that only has 13 playable players be better on paper than a team that's basically playing 17 guys? What Emerson play last night? He still got like 14, 15, didn't he? Or no, he was a little lower, I think, last night.
He was 942.
Yeah, okay.
Wallman 2004, Klingberg 1836, Kulak 2314, Nurse 2215, Bouchard 2314. So 5 guys at 20 plus, 1 guy just under 10.
Smitty the Wilder from the chat says the Kings are better this year. That's hilarious. They have 9 forwards and 4 D-men. Great team.
But we did. Smitty the Welder makes a good point, but we didn't know that it would be this type
heavily
of
knocked, yeah,
allotment.
Well, that
time
goes
on
back
ice-wise,
around to Hiller,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Adrian Kempe's -7.
And Kopitar was 2. Kopitar has 7 points, but he was a dash. We're looking at that going into the series.
Yeah, but like, no, so far in this series, Adrian Kempe's -7.
Right. Okay, you and I were looking at it before we did postgame. Kopitar was -5 going into last night.
Yeah. And
then ended
they
up-
took it last night. Kopitar, I think, was what, -1, and Kempe was -2, or were they both -2?
Kopitar was even. Kempe -2. And those are their big dogs. And someone pointed out, they're like, I haven't noticed Kopitar in this series. He does have, what does he have, 7 points?
Yeah, how many were in power play, though? 4 or 5?
You called him a power play.
Yeah, PP, Merchant.
Merchant, yeah.
Yeah.
Good term.
Yeah, thanks, Tommy. I didn't officially come up with it, but I did use it to reference those
you
guys.
used it well to quite well.
Yeah. Max Bazuzu over in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. The Kings are in such a pickle, it's jarring.
Oh, very good.
That's well done. I saw somebody else, maybe it was Max as well. The Kings are in such a pickle, they can't relish it. Zach like that one. Yeah.
Very
that was,
good. Everybody's they're sharp today.
That was pretty good as well.
Okay, here's a good one.
Yeah.
I want to throw what Deaky Sparks sent into the inbox at you. Deaky
At me?
Sparks. Yeah, I'm curious
Okay.
what you think. Says, do you guys think Knobloch's coaching strategies have helped separate the Oilers from the Kings? The teams did a complete flip-flop after 4 games, or just bodies getting reps after being off for so long? What do you think? The coaching strategy versus healthy bodies. Theory.
Boy, I really don't want to take anything away from Knobloch.
He has been clever with his deception.
Yeah. He's been doing those things like, oh, look, they're not together at the morning skate, and then they're together. I mean, nobody can really be tricked by Knobloch lines, though. You know it's going to be. We get fooled into talking about them because we like to talk about line combinations, but they start different all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the flip in this series has been, if I had to say three things, I'll go three things.
Okay.
And I'm listing three things because Knobloch's not one of them. So I'm not, I guess my answer to this question would be no.
Okay.
My three things would be Hiller and the challenge in game 3 and the fact, I guess it's kind of a 1B, 1A, and the fact that he's running these other guys so much.
He's shooting himself in the foot, essentially, or the team.
To me, it's, so we can put this, I guess it's maybe two things. One is Hiller and the challenge, the usage. That's one thing. And then to me, the other thing is these guys, the Oilers hadn't played together. Like the game 2 and even game 1, but into game 2 specifically, once Kane returned and Klingberg got on the line, that was a team that had never in the history of the players on that roster played together before.
That's
so, like it's a team that is been together now for a few games. And now I'll give Knobloch credit for maybe putting some guys in the right place now, but I think more of it is Kane's getting up to speed. Frederick's looking a little bit better.
Yeah.
Klingberg, we didn't even think would factor into the series, and he's become a guy that I actually enjoy watching play somehow in this series so far.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably Hiller, and then the Oilers finally having a healthy lineup that's starting to gel a little bit would probably be the two reasons that I think this thing has transitioned to the way it is now.
To contrast the two coaches, I think Knobloch's, and people get annoyed by how like dull he can be, but that's kind of how he coaches too. I think that calm under pressure has been very beneficial, especially when the waters were rough at the start of the series, compared to Hiller being hot under the collar.
Yeah.
So just to contrast the two coaches, to go back to like Deaky Sparks. I don't know if that falls under strategies. Maybe it is strategies, but I think just the demeanor of Knobloch compared to that with Hiller has given the Oilers or helped put them in the right frame of mind to overcome the obstacles that were laid out before them early in the series, whereas Hiller is jumping on landmines here and it's just blowing up in his face, for lack of a better analogy.
Oil Raider over on the chat says, I thought the Oilers did a much better job supporting the puck last night.
Yes, defending in layers. Yeah. That's a great point.
Because even the odd time when there was a mess up, and there wasn't many last night, but there was a few where you're like, oh no, somebody else was there. And it's just
support,
like, that was
back checks were there.
That was pretty positive.
Good job, Oilers Raider. That's a good one.
As well last night. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Coach Mike said, Josh Bloody Brown started game 1. I still don't understand starting me in the playoffs. Playoff Knobloch is cooking now. So he's got that that's going.
I think I know we don't need to dwell on it, but snooping around because I was blown away by that decision as well. And I popped off on it after game 1. I think there's more to it, and I think there's some people trying to justify the signing by doing a little bit of politicking behind the scenes to get him in. That's my understanding.
Well, they got to do their politicking for a game and then realized it was a horrible signing.
It was a terrible signing.
Bones to the inbox. These are flying in here. Kings in a pickle. Oilers preserved the win. That's nice. A good one.
Bones, nicely done.
Big Dave says, pickled? I thought the Kings were beat.
Beets are gross, man. But that's
I don't do beets, man.
Oh, no. My mom loves them.
Yeah. I do not do, that would be gross. I don't think I've ever had beets in my entire life.
This RCN.
It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Well done.
Like an invite to the farewell party. Please join us as we say goodbye to Jim Hiller. Thursday, May 1st, 7 p.m. Rogers Place, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Got a picture of
It's a very festive card.
It's a nice
invite.
card. It's a nice invite for everybody if you want to get down to the...
Quite the photo of Jim Hiller in the background.
If you want to
too.
get down there, yeah.
People are good. People are very good and clever and creative and artistic with these things. I appreciate that. Nicely done. Peter says, the only thing I can't get behind is how so many people keep saying the Kings have more depth. The only thing they have an advantage is in net. I would even take this Oilers defense without Ekholm over the Kings D.
Well, see, and that's where we come back around to the conversation we had when we were trying to dish out check marks for this. Because you were pretty clear. I mean, if they had Ekholm, then 100% the advantage is on the Kings. And you thought without Ekholm, maybe lean towards the Kings. And I was like, I mean, they're not even playing Spence. And he's a guy who played more for them during the regular season.
Yep.
And the other guys, Drew Doughty's old. Joel Edmondson's old.
Yeah.
Gavrikov's decent.
Yep. He's been good.
And who am I missing? But Brent Clark's
young.
Brent Clark, they don't play really.
Yeah.
He plays like 10, somewhere between 8 and 12 minutes. Who's the other one I'm missing?
Mo Ferrari, who they
No,
played.
there's another guy in their top 4 that I'm missing. Who I said? I said Doughty.
Mikey Anderson.
Oh yeah, Mikey Anderson. Non-factor in this series so far.
Yeah.
Like Mikey Anderson hasn't even done something stupid to get under the Oilers' skin. Has he? I don't think so.
No, he's been there.
Yeah.
He's around. No, nothing substantial.
No, I don't think so. Like when the Oilers cranked it up last night, that blue line could do nothing.
That's fair.
They couldn't do anything last night. It's also in game 1 and 2, the Oilers blue line really didn't have much of an answer for what the Kings were bringing to the table.
That's true.
Right? So
yeah, they adjusted, I guess. That goes to the strategy thing and composure. I don't know. I still think this Oilers team has this penchant for figuring the opposition out after a couple looks at them. And it seems to have happened again. While the Kings also imploded, thanks to their coach.
Big Uke says, Dusty, you cannot say the sentence you don't like beets and then I've never eaten one. Well, see, I haven't eaten them, but I'm assuming I don't like them.
I've tried. No thanks.
They taste like dirt. It's basically you're eating dirt.
And you're German.
Yeah, so
they love
I
beets.
definitely don't.
Do they?
And then I don't.
Yeah.
Then I don't like beets.
I like a lot of pickled stuff.
Yeah, also a German.
So
And
beets are
pickled beets.
are beets a
Eastern
pickled thing? Are they pickled?
You can pickle them, but usually, I don't know, man. It's hard to describe beets because they're just like little red things, and it's a harder kind of textured sort of thing. Like they want to be the chip of the earth, I guess. I don't
They're
know.
bright red.
They look gross.
They
I think
look like little red
I think my
potatoes.
grandparents used to have beets on the farm.
Yeah.
And they stain your fingers.
So what do you
and
do? Do you
stuff.
mash them like a potato, or do you just eat them straight up? Like do you take eat them like an apple?
You could do all of the above. It's the beauty of the beets. They're very versatile, but
I don't want to try them at all.
very gross.
James B says I've tried beets, and it ain't my thing.
No. Good point, James B.
Mex Bazuzu, they're in such a pickle. The Kings are in such a pickle that it looks like the Oilers are gherking them around.
That one was really good.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's funny. I like
Well done on that today.
Collingwood
everybody.
Rob.
Such a good mood today, everybody.
Collingwood Rob says, the Kings pickled. It would appear they have been soured by the kraut.
Man, you guys are really good at this. The Liquid Beavers said, hey guys, I know this series isn't over yet, but I was looking at flights to Vegas in case the Oilers and Knights meet. I can't find a flight for under $1,000 return.
I think I was seeing a thing like because of what's happened with the tariffs and all that crap. I think there's flights being pulled, like regularly scheduled flights being pulled because the tourism from Canada down to the U.S. has basically died by like 70%.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel bad.
I was watching like
Disneyland.
CNN or something the other day, and they're like, our tourism is being hurt majorly by lack of Canadians coming down to Florida, Arizona, and Las Vegas. And then I track Vegas. I have this infatuation with Vegas, and I follow some of the Vegas influencers there, and they were talking about how the tourism is down because of straight up lack of Canadians going there. So to Liquid Beaver's point, where there used to be those regular flights where people would be on them and you could catch a good deal every now and then round trip, I think they're pulling actual flights, and so it drives the price
The
up.
only thing I know about this is the Godfather turns 50 in September.
Ooh.
And his brother Lee.
Yep.
They've got some flights to go down. I'm supposed to do a CFL game that weekend, but I might talk to Eddie and be like, let me just.
Good thing you and Eddie and Eduardo are friends.
It would be nice to. I haven't been to Vegas in a long time. It's
Since last
Godfather's 50th. We're pretty tight. I guess I went to Vegas last year.
We
But that was
did.
kind of work
That was
trip-ish.
work. Yeah, it was.
We had to be up at 4 a.m. to start getting ready for the show. Not at one point there was I drunk.
Didn't stop Eric.
No, and not at one point there was Eric sober. But like it was
great.
So I'd rather do Vegas like vacationing, and I haven't done that since before the pandemic.
It is nice.
So I was trying to think, but I guess what I was going to say is that Lee got tickets super cheap, booking out in September though, right? It's down the road. You can get a ton of. You can travel actually rather affordably if you plan your trips properly. Like I've been booking a bunch of my CFL travel right now, and like to fly to Montreal in July is like $105.
Damn.
So it's if you get it out ahead of it, you might, but you can never do this for a playoff series. You're just going to get hosed.
Yeah.
You're going to want to be there, so you probably do it, but you're going to get hosed.
Yeah, that's fair. Vegas is fun though. I love Vegas. And there's more to it than just the Strip. Good golfing, Red Rock Canyon, all that stuff.
I'm
Grand
more Strip guy.
Strip's a lot of fun. I honestly love when it's not a work trip to Vegas. I love just pool time. And I don't need to jump in the pool.
Yeah.
I just hang out by the pool. You get a drink, a bite to eat.
Maybe there's a lazy river.
The lazy river is great. And it's fun people watching too.
Yeah.
You get all kinds in Vegas. All kinds. And like you see like the couples that are like either they just met or they're kind of guys picking up a girl picking up a guy. And
Tommy's
they
got
get a
eyes
little
on this
sloppy in there and you're watching, you're like,
You're a
I
pervert.
like where this is going.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So I like just hanging out by the pool, getting some sun, and dip my toes in the water. But a lazy river is always great.
When I went there right before the pandemic, we went down for my buddy Shorts. It was his 40th birthday. So this would have been 5 years ago, I guess. 5.5, 6 years ago. And we went down. We were floating the lazy river at MGM, I think.
Mandalay Bay. MGM used to have one.
Did they have it 6 years ago?
MGM Grand used to have one. I think they
wasn't it
switched
Mandalay. So anyway, we were in a lazy river somewhere. We're floating along. And we're just talking, the two of us, and some guy like floats up by me and goes, "Hey, Dusty, love the show."
I love that.
I was just like, yes.
There's always
That's
Canadians
what I'm talking
there.
about. Like that was a really fun time. That was good. Andrew E. over in the chat says, we all know Tommy loves Vegas because of the buffets. The buffet bandit, eh?
Go to the buffet.
Yeah, you get $7 buffet.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
I got the red, or no, was it the line from Vegas Vacation?
The yellow.
Or the blue or the yellow? I'll have some of the yellow. I want to get to this one. Pat in the county texts in. Hey, boys, just jumping in. Tommy, earlier in the year, you mentioned that the Oilers would look on moving on from Kane. Do the past few games change that in your mind? Short answer, no. And I think what we're seeing from Kane is what was described to me as best case scenario. He
Play
comes
awesome
back,
and,
has a great postseason. His value goes up, and they can move on from him.
Well, you know what would help his value go up?
Scoring
Win a
goal.
Stanley Cup.
Win a Stanley Cup.
Win a Stanley Cup, man.
Keep it going.
All right, that is going to do it for the Oil Stream today. Brought to you by our great partners over at Boston Pizza, where the playoff menu is not just real, it is spectacular. You're going to absolutely love this at Boston Pizza. EST Afternoons with Hernan and Gager coming up. I do believe Hernan's going to do a Bamba Live.
He has to.
I call it Her Bamba. Her Bamba Live. Hey, that's
I love Her
a lot of
Bamba.
fun. And then the Reed Wilkins.
no?
So don't you wave your finger
You're
knowing
doing
me.
it.
People want it. People want it, Nanso.
You give them what they want.
And then Reed Wilkins. He's in. Legendary performance coming up from Reed from 3 to 6 today. Right here on Edmonton Sports Talk for Tommy Gazzola. I am Dustin Nielson. We'll be setting up Game 6 tomorrow morning on The Nielson Show, 6 a.m. Take it easy.